Tesla reviewing this. Hey guys, DFW's Cars here. This is really more than a car. This is kind of like the future. We are in the, in case you can tell, the Model X90D Tesla, which is so cool. There's so many features. So there's actually going to be a quick take video I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do a longer form video just like highlighting like all the little features if you're actually interested in buying one, or just like a huge like Tesla, like I don't want to say nerd, but like Tesla fan who just wants to know everything about it. So this is going to be the quick video. All right, so as you walk up to the car, this is really cool. It senses you, folds out the mirrors, and for some reason that feature is not working. I'll show you guys later, but this is supposed to open automatically. The neat part is I had to call the owner and ask, where's the on-off button? I looked everywhere. Like, this switch gear is the same as my Mercedes, so that's familiar. No on-off button. Because there is no on-off, the car is now technically on, in that it's ready to go. And then if I lock it, or just walk far enough away, it will turn off. So that's the first time a car has fooled me in that way. Highlight these LEDs because these aren't just one LED, it's actually many LEDs in there. The owner had to tell me this. It's pretty technical. Like, it looks like a solid strip, but it's actually many, and then they're just like hidden behind that cover there. That is pretty cool. And then it's got the newer mustache grill, which is growing on me. I used to make fun of that, but it's one of those things you get used to. So I think this actually is a really pretty car. It's very futuristic looking, but it also looks sporty. Like, a lot of futuristic cars just kind of look stupid, for lack of a better word. I'm not talking about the BMW i3 or anything like that. This is more i8 in a way, because it actually is stylish. Like, all the little details here. Now, this was an early launch edition car, so it doesn't have the 2.0 self-driving, because that's why there's not a camera there, but I think that looks really cool. I've seen the red badges in here before. They chose to black out everything. Of course, it has the doors, which I'll be showing you a lot about. And then on the newer models, this spoiler is active, much like on like my Porsche or something like that. This one is just a fixed spoiler though, so that's pretty cool. And then wrapping around to the back here, it's all LEDs. And I love their license plate. My SUV is faster than your sports car. That's actually true. This is a 90D. When they got it, I think this was the like high-end one. Now there's like 100. Gimmick, and they look cool, yada yada. They're more form than function. But getting in this car, I don't care how tall you are, it's just extremely easy to like slide yourself into this pretty roomy back seat, and it does have the 2 extra. So now I am getting myself in. This closes with the touch of a button there, which is nifty. All right, and this was an early edition, so I'm not sure if you can still get this wood on them. I think it's either carbon or like only like a darker, like almost ash black wood. So this wood is really pretty. Really nice interior, very futuristic with these like shiny seats. The white leather is really a nice touch on here. And the owner said it stays quite clean because it's like Scotch Guard. Now, of course, it can get dirty, but it's not as bad as you would think. So, yeah. All right, so here is everything. Of course, that screen I could do a whole video on. Let's just say it's amazing. It requires a lot of getting used to. I wish there was a little more tactile feedback and buttons for like the climate control and like a radio knob. At least you can do the radio on the steering wheel there. Which is nice. All the Mercedes switchgear you may notice if you've ridden in or driven a modern Mercedes, including the transmission shifter. I understand Tesla is developing their own on that, but just a very nice futuristic place.
Here's all your controls for the map. It's all Google Maps here, so you can zoom in, zoom out. You can use all of the different controls up here, which vary from the map to your sound to even online. You can go search stuff online. Like I have stuff like Motor Cars currently.
I'll have to load DFW's Cars on there.
Yeah, I will. You can access your phone. Our phone is currently not connected though.
Yeah. And
you can pretty much access everything all in one big touchscreen instead of messing with multiple different buttons. You can do all your unlocking, your lock, your power, your climate controls all down here. So you can mess with your airflow for the back, the front, pretty much everything there. You can do heated and cooled seats right here. You can press that and you turn them off, turn them on. Your volume control is here. There's currently no song on.
And you can turn it up to 11, right?
Yes, you can.
Boom, let's turn it up to 11.
Yeah. But that is very, very, very loud.
We're gonna turn it up to 11, guys. Yeah, oh.
There we go, it goes completely off the screen.
I know, that's awesome.
Instead of course, having to press that button over and over and over and over again, on the steering wheel here, you can turn down the volume right here, or up to 11 again.
Boom, let's turn it up to 11 via the wheel. Woo!
have any song there. You hold this and you can change it whatever you want to be placed in that position. The car status, for instance, I could put that there. My phone, your media, of course, the energy usage, all that is controlled for both sides.
For you Prius drivers, would appreciate that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Media. And then when you slid it, okay, and then, that also controls the climate control, and then you can go into all sorts of other stuff. And while we were playing around, even on the climate control, you can turn that all the way up to 11 as well, which is pretty cool. I hadn't seen that before. It's like a lot of people on the Model S said it's not that nice inside. This one has totally fixed that problem because it does look like a six-figure car in there with the Alcantara. I'm making fun of other YouTubers there with the Alcantara, you know, on the dash, on the roof. The wood is really, really a nice wood grain, and then of course the, you know, stitched leather extending up there. It's a nice car. All right, guys, one critique of this car has always been that it's kind of gimmicky, that there's too much technology, and to a degree that is true. I've always been kind of a techie though, so I'm kind of the wrong person to ask. But yeah, there is a lot to figure out, and there is a learning curve on this car, which is kind of rare for a car. So I will say that. Another thing when you test drive one of these, it's one of the heavier regenerative braking systems I've seen. Like, you literally don't need to hit the brake. You can just drive entirely with the pedal for the most part, unless you're coming to a complete stop, really. So that is actually pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna do the famous Tesla 0 to 60. Check out her video she'll be have on this car. She'll give me a scare later in her video. Let's go. Oh, wow. Oh, jeez. It is very surreal. If you've never been in a Tesla before, I can best describe it when you're on an airplane. If you've never been in an airplane before, I can't think of a better metaphor. But when you're in an airplane and it's about to take off and it does that very strong thrust, that's almost what it feels like. How would you describe it?
That's exactly how it is. He just pushes you way back. It's very unexpected, especially if you are thinking it's an electric car. It just throws you back. You don't know what's happening.
Right, I'm going to do another quick one because there's more road up here. Yeah, it is even, I would say, more powerful than the analogy I just gave you. It throws you back even more than the, you know, big airplane jet engines will, which is saying something, I think. Okay, we're going to try it. Try number 2. Unfortunately, we're on a surface street. Around like 70, it feels like it starts to run out of steam. Or maybe at that point, as someone said recently about another car I reviewed, maybe you're just used to it by the time you hit like 50, 60, 70, because it's definitely that initial one. So one more thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be going like, say, 20, and then I'm going to gun it again. All right, here's 20. Oh, yeah, no, when you get on it, right up to like 60 there, a little under, it's just like instant. There's no even naturally aspirated car that can do that. Like I said, I've driven a Model S before. It wasn't the 90 or the 100 like this one though, so it just wasn't the same. This is seriously impressive. Do I think you need the 100D or the ludicrous mode? It's a nice bragging right. I don't know, you like fast cars. Was this fast enough for you?
It was. It actually is very impressive. I am quite a fan.
Sorry about the glare. It's that helicopter windshield. You can't really get around that, so just it's heavenly light shining out on the Tesla. Is that amazing helicopter windshield? It does go so far back. There is a little visor which I kind of wish was in it, because it does throw a lot of heat on you. Like, it's very darkly tinted, but even right now my hand is getting warm just like sitting there. Here's the visor for this car that you can put up in that windshield if you're getting too warm. Very cool. Turning into corners, like the steering is a little numb. I'm gonna check with the owner if there's a sport mode, but it's not one of the best electrical systems, but it is good, it is competent, it is fun. But yeah, it's not gonna, if you're coming out of a sports car into this, you know, don't expect it to be exactly the same. It's very luxurious, it's very quiet. Like we have a Fiat 500e at DFW's cars, and compared to that, the engine is quiet, but everything else isn't all that quiet, because, you know, it's like a $30,000-ish car. So this though, it's just like very well sealed. It's just very serene. It's very peaceful. But as we'll show you in the longer review, and maybe even a little later in this review for a little bit, when you get it on a curvy back road, because it has such a low center of gravity, it is really fun. How are the brakes? They're like most, it's weird to talk about because you're not hitting the pedal a lot. I've hit the pedal a total of like 5 times or less, the brake pedal, because when you pull off the accelerator, that does do the brakes. So I can't really compare brake feel on this to like other cars, but it does stop quickly and competently. Good ride quality, very, it's very competent in turns, but then it's also, it kind of wafts right over bumps. Having the extra weight actually helps, and long wheelbase actually helps ride quality. Like, it's very nice. So the one critique of this car, like, that you might not have heard before, is the AC vents. They're extremely small. I'll show them to you now. Yep, these are what's providing you all your cooling. So they're definitely a little small, and it even with the cooled seats on at full blast, if it's a really hot day and the car's been sitting a while, they have a bit of trouble getting you cool. So how do you you don't put gas in this car, that's obvious. How do you refuel this car or recharge this car? Of course, and it glows blue, so in case you didn't know. And it speeds away in silence. It's kind of surreal. You only hear the tires, and when you're really on it, they're all right, so here with the Model X today, this is a cool feature. As you walk up to the car, if you're holding the key, come on. So this is really more than a car. This is kind of like the future. We are in the, in case you can tell, the Model X. So one cool feature, as you walk up to the car, it detects if you have the key in your hand, and until next time, my speedy racers, drive on.